I'm here.
Yay!
I made it. I had to go get a refill really quickly.
It said it got deleted on Facebook.
No, it says live right now. Let me double check.
I see live in the corner, but
I know.
What do I know? I have a shower curtain behind me, so
I mean, seriously,
what do I know? You know, hey, I like it. I know Jimmy's like, are you doing the podcast yet? Baby, I'm on it.
I'm doing it right now.
It says to stream to Facebook, I have to create a new broadcast.
Yeah, I was about to say, why don't you send a new message? Because I don't see it on our...
Delete on Facebook. And then I wonder if I can add Facebook back. Save. Okay, and we're good.
Are you good?
I have a little green check mark, so just, let me know.
Oh, well, hey, we got the green check mark. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, this whole technology thing, it's like I produce and edit and
here we are. I see us
and
live.
Here we are.
We're doing shit.
We're doing it.
Okay, wait. So should we do the introduction or should we just kind of hit the ground running?
No, let's do the introduction. Go ahead, Abby.
Oh, okay. Well, I was expecting to do that.
Take it away, Abby.
I got nervous not fucking up your last name the first time, so now Abby gets to do it.
Okay, welcome to Blitzed with Bourbon and Blondes, our drunk quarantine episodes. We are here with Mollie Amburgey, who is one of our favorite people on this planet. She's a stand-up comic. She has a full-time job, and she also has a podcast, Casually Mollie. And you should check it out. And Mollie, I don't know what else you want to add to this.
No, I mean, I really don't have anything else. I mean, I have my 4 roses that I got today. Yeah, I know.
Cheers, girl.
Cheers.
Nice. I'm drinking. Oh, this cup is really full. Look at that.
Abby broke the first cup. I just want to note, Abby broke the first cup, and she broke it and spilled all over the place. And she was like, oh. And then her screen started to get blurry, and I thought to myself, I was like, oh no, did she spill on the computer screen? But I didn't want to say anything.
Right. Well, thank goodness you didn't, because I didn't spill on the computer screen. I'm an adult and I spilled on the table. Okay.
Right. Anytime there's a drink around me, I'm like, I had the other day I had coffee and I talk with my hands a lot, and I was at work. And so I'm on the phone at work trying to get something done. And I knocked my coffee over and I'm on the phone. And this lady's like, again, I'm so sorry about canceling my reservation. I'm like, it's fine. Just I'm not
clean up my mess.
I'm just in a mess, by myself. I was like, again, theme of 2020, standing in a puddle of mess by myself. I can't handle it.
Literally needs to be on a shirt at this point.
It's a mess. Elena, what are you drinking? Mollie's drinking 4 roses.
I think it's I know it is Old Granddad. Sorry. I've literally
Life is hard.
I gotta tell you, it was a really rough Wednesday. And so
today's Thursday.
I know. And it's just, I feel like it's,
I didn't even know what day it was.
Yeah. Well, it was rolled into today. And so when I sat down I had a call at 5:30. When I sat down, I was like, I'm going to get a still 6:30 gin drink, which always is guaranteed to fuck you up. I don't know what they put. They put magical. Yeah, they put magical juice in there.
Cocaine powder or something in there.
I know. It was cocaine powder. I wouldn't be so drunk.
Good point. It's not cocaine powder. No, those drinks though, super refreshing, super tasty, and I hate gin.
Oh, their drinks are so fucking good.
Yeah, I actually I never went in when I started in my connoisseur of a career here when it comes to my drinking. I didn't really start out liking gin. It became an acquired taste, and now all of a sudden I'm they're like, oh, gin isn't. I'm like, that's fine. Throw it at me. I'm ready. It's hard for me because I'm an Ohio girl, so I'm like, oh. Being in Cincinnati, we have our own whiskey and bourbons there. And then Kentucky would always be right over the river, obviously. And there's always that competition between Ohio and Kentucky. We're like, which one is better? Which one, and I'm like, I like it all personally, which I know my friends in Cincinnati are going to be like, what? But, But then I grew into gin, and I'm like, all right, gotta like get out of my comfort zone here a little bit. Let's see what we can do.
Well,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I have to talk about this real quick. I managed to somehow
whiskey out of drawers. What is wrong with you?
I managed to get the cork stuck in the top of this.
Alina.
Only me.
And you're trying to get it out with a pen?
Well, there we go.
These are our quarantine problems, you guys.
Just being a real adult.
It's now inside the bottle. Here we are.
You just need to be a real adult and order your Silver Linings cocktails like me. So now I have to just pop the top.
Yes.
But I also pour it in a glass that I'm probably going to break in 20 minutes.
And if anyone is interested, Silver Lining Cocktails, you can check out STL Barkeep. I feel like this is a plug, even though it was unintentional.
It is.
But
do it. No, but because it's really exciting for us today.
Yeah, no. So, okay. Awesome. Super
Molly,
exciting.
We'll talk
news.
about you in a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I love Silver Linings. I love that they partner with people. And I also followed and liked this today on Facebook. So this is just me actually hearing it live versus me just like looking at my phone. So I feel like I'm just a part of it. So go ahead. Okay. Also, Silver Lining, thanks for following me on Instagram. I appreciate it.
Matt is literally the best. He is amazing.
I love him.
Yeah, no,
he's so great.
And so Silver Lining Cocktails does the canned cocktails that Abby has, and they give proceeds.
This is last week.
Yeah, the launch code. So they give proceed to I don't know if it's local charity. I think it's local charity. I know it's St. Louis. Yeah, I was about to say it's a local charity. And they give their canned cocktail, and I'm pretty sure their actual cocktail kits. So if you
batch cocktails, everything.
Yeah, and the canned cocktails are not just bourbon. It's gin, tequila, vodka. And they're so good. Oh, I had one with what was it? Last week or the week? It may have been launch codes. They had is it the bourbon with the chai masala? It was so stinking good. It was so good. I love those kind of spices. It was delicious, and they do cocktail kits as well. So if you want an old fashioned, they have all different types. So stlbarkeep.com, check them out. What's exciting is on top of everything that they do, Abby and I are doing a virtual tasting next Tuesday with them. So we will have on our website tomorrow, if you go to bourbonandblondes.com, we will have the link on there to buy if we do not sell out by then, because we are,
tickets are going fast.
Yeah, they are going fast. So there's only 20 spots. It's $50 a ticket for this event. We are planning to do them in the future as well, but we've got a lot of really good things that you can taste. It's 5 1-ounce pours in a cocktail kit that comes to your house within the St. Louis and surrounding areas. And
that's the only catch. It has to be deliverable in like the St. Louis area, surrounding counties, etc. Should we share what the 5 tasting pours are going to be?
Yeah, go for it. Let's do it.
I want to know. I actually don't know, so tell me.
Yeah, it's going to be Maker's Mark RC6, which is hard to find and hard to
very
taste, and
it's so
delicious.
Good. It's so
I am so excited.
So
you guys know I
and
love Makers.
Oh yes, their tour is so fun, but that's a story for another day. So then, second we have Makers 101, which you can only usually taste at the distillery, and then we've got Legion Bourbon, and then STL Barkeep did a barrel pick for a Knob Creek, so we're gonna do a tasting of their Knob Creek single barrel, which is exciting.
And shout out for that one, because you can buy, I think Matt's doing a bottle of that. So if you end up really liking that, reach out to us or reach out to STL Barkeep, and you can get a bottle of it. So, and that's the only time you get a bottle of that specific product.
Yeah. So participate in the tasting and see if you like the 1-ounce pour, and then do a bottle. And then our 5th tasting pour is going to be the Basil Hayden 10-year rye. And on top of these 5 tasting pours that we'll walk you through and all of that during the tasting, you'll get a kit to make an old-fashioned cocktail out of their Knob Creek single barrel. So you're going to get 5 pours and a cocktail and an hour of our time.
I mean, what a deal, you guys. Buy a ticket, okay?
Right? It's going to be great. It's so exciting. It's fun. We love St. Louis Barkeep. We're going to actually be doing it out of the same studio that Mollie records her podcast in. Usually we're going to be at We Are Live at Midcoast Media. We're very excited to have a real life situation instead of doing the StreamYard thing. But
the StreamYard thing.
the thing I love about this tasting is it's so different from what everyone's doing right now, because everyone is just saying, hey, watch us taste these whiskeys. If you haven't taste it with us. We are literally saying buy a ticket and we are bringing you the whiskey. You just have to open your front door, sit down and enjoy. That's it.
Yeah.
Story of my life. That's what I've been doing. So I might as well just order or get a ticket, open up my front door and be like, hi, bye.
Bring it
on. And then also my friend Kate, she works for Lodge Codes. So she was like, oh, did you know that STL Barkeep and Silver? Like, I was like, oh my gosh. So kind of cool. Like, what a small world. Like everybody's helping out everybody. So
sorry, I'm eating pizza right now. Just let it happen.
I'm slightly jealous. I saw you doing that while we were on the podcast, and I was like, "This bitch is muting herself while she's eating." Did he cook that, or where'd you get that?
Oh my god, it's the best pizza place in St. Louis. I'm sorry.
Ginger bought one. Oh, sorry. Shout out to Ginger.
Yay, Ginger!
Thank you.
Hey, Ginger.
No, this pizza though. Let's get back to the pizza because this is from Mello's Pizzeria.
Oh,
which is right behind
pizza.
Oh wait, there's probably 3 in the other room.
Okay, well, BRB. I live across the street. So,
so Mello's is actually part of Blues City Deli. It's like the little place in the back, and they're usually only open like 3 or 4 days of the week. Evenings only. Right now they're doing curbside. So you call, you pay, and you just pull up, you tell them what car it is, and they bring it out. And it is by far the best pizza I've had in years.
I've never had it, but I love Blue City Deli. So let's do
It's
this.
the same family, same everything. And I tell you, they did a special pizza today that I ordered. It is sausage and fontina cheese and onions and garlic, and it's literally everything.
It sounds everything that I would like. So I'm down. Here I come, Mellows.
Right?
BRB leaving this podcast.
Here I go. Take your phone and computer with you. You had
cut out early.
That's what I'll do. I'll be like, just switch over to my phone, and then I'll be like, live streaming from Mellows. It's me.
Driving. Hey. We do not condone drinking and driving. Don't do it.
Right.
But I also am hungry because, as I said when we recorded our podcast earlier, you may not have been on yet, Mollie. I haven't eaten since 11 a.m., so I'm hungry and getting very drunk. So I'm trying to kind of like balance
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel like that's what is when somebody, I was talking about describing from your 20s to your 30s today. And I feel like that is literally describing your 20s to your 30s is like,
oh yeah.
You know, like when you're 20s, you're like, woo, I was like, I can get so drunk and I can come back from it. And I wake up in the morning. No, that's not how you are in your 30s. Yeah. I wake up the next day and I was like, I was hit by a train, a bus, and a car, and I haven't left the house in fucking 2 months. What is really wrong with me? Oh my god, no! And then you get like weird symptoms like that have never happened. You're like, I'm having cramps and a headache, and like I'm in the fetal position.
My left foot is twitching. Right? What's happening?
My spine is unaligned. Like I don't understand. My chi is off. Like what happened? Yeah.
My chakras have left the
not
building.
Okay. Oh my god! So. Mollie, give us a little introduction. So we just did a podcast with Mollie before we hopped on here, but give us a little bit of background about you, a little introduction, you know.
Oh, okay. Well, when I'm not recovering after a week of trying to not I know, I was like, I'm getting to that point, ladies. I understand things have definitely changed for sure. But when I'm not doing that, yes, like they said, I have a day job, and then I also do, well, before this all shut down, I was a stand-up comic for a hot minute, and I also run the Casually Mollie podcast, which you can find on all streaming services, and we just recently started filming things and putting them on a YouTube page as well as on Facebook. So check it out. I interview a lot of like St. Louis comedians and just like cool people that I think are interesting and fun guests, just like the gals that you see above me here. So yeah.
And tell us about your hair. Let's talk about the hair because it's
beautiful, beautiful hair.
It's not blonde, but I support this.
Okay, yeah. It's more me. Like, it's not that I didn't like my brown hair or anything like that, but I've always wanted bright red hair, and I've always kind of like put it off or was like a little nervous to try it. And then finally in February, I called my friend Marcy and I was like, hey, listen, I want to dye my hair this bright red color. And I sent her a picture. And the only picture I found was of this dancer actually from Dancing on the Stars. Her name is Dancing with the Stars, Sharna Burgess. She had this bright red hair. She was on that was like the one picture. I was like, this is the color that I'm looking for. And Marcy got it on pat, but I didn't think that it would also make me look like Ariel. So like it's really feels like, especially with little kids, it's super cute because I went to go again pre-COVID when we could all like talk to each other and stuff. I was in I was in the fish aisle actually getting some salmon and some frozen, and this little girl was so freaking cute. She was like, Mom, Ariel shops at Aldi, and I about just died. I was
and she eats her own people.
Right? I literally put in the status. I was like, I'm just buying fish. This is not a good look, because I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh no.
This is not cannibalism. It's okay.
I know. I like dropped the salmon and I was like, it's keto. I'm really sorry. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
You grabbed a fork instead. You're like, look at this.
Oh my God. Well, that was the joke too, was that night that I got it done, my boyfriend, Jimmy, he was like, babe, let's go out to dinner. And he chose a seafood restaurant. So between like me with the red hair, and then he has pale skin and like dark black hair. And we were sitting there and I ordered like a shrimp salad. I was like, he's laughing his ass off. And I'm like, this is just too much. I'm going to be honest. Like, we got to go. Like, we had our dinner and then I've never left so fast from Cyberg. So I was like, bye.
I'm out of here. I love it.
Oh man, that's amazing. Well,
so that's my hair.
It looks amazing on you. I love it. And I can't wait to be able to photograph it because it looks so good. I just love it.
Thank you. What's so funny, because like now, since obviously we're in quarantine, everybody's like, do you have a headshot? Do you have a headshot? Do you have a headshot? And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, I can't wait until we all have like COVID lift. And then I'm going to just give Elena all my money and be like, just take whatever pictures
Make me pretty.
Mm-hmm. I don't even care. I'll be like, I'm out.
Pay me like one of your French girls.
And then we'll go get French. I'm ready.
We'll have fun. Doesn't matter.
We'll have fun. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Well, it will involve mimosas.
I need Elena to take
photos.
pictures of me and make me pretty.
I know. Elena, make us pretty.
Well, I had just sent, this is actually funny. So I sent photos to Matt for STL Barkeep, just some canned photos. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I went to go use my camera, and it's so funny about muscle memory because when you're trying to set your settings on a camera, if you're trying to, everybody takes a photo differently, but you set your settings like you would like a film camera. Like, anyway, I just like turned it on and I started clicking and I was like, oh no, this isn't right. I was like, this is not how you use the camera. I turned to Sam and I was like, I'm sorry, I forgot how to use a camera in the last 3 months, apparently.
Oh my God.
I was like, sorry, just give me 2 seconds. I was like, it's weird how you're like muscle memory, how you like get used to doing something and you haven't done it for so long. And I was like, oh yeah, no, okay, that's not how you do this. No, all right.
Oh yeah.
Let's do a redo.
Let's do a redo. Be like, it's just like you just admit, you're like, oh, this is exactly what I would do normally, except now I'm not in that. When I did with Matt, we did a stream for George Remus, and so they did a Cincinnati game. Yeah, yep. So I was on that, and Chris Denman was like, oh, can you send me a photo of yourself? And I'm like, it's just the one day I'm like late, no makeup, because he's like, I just need a headshot. So I like had to go on my phone like you do during these quarantine times and do it like in portrait mode. And I have like no makeup on. I'm like, oh my God, I look dead. But then my friends who are in Cincinnati were like, you look great for quarantine. And I was like, oh, really? It's the portrait mode. I'm telling you what, like,
but also, what does it mean for quarantine? Like, oh, you're not a troll under the bridge. Congratulations.
You don't have a mustache. Your roots aren't growing out. Like, what does that even mean?
Thank God my Mac cannot get visual with what's going on. I go to a wax person, okay? I like my
Elena's growing ear hair.
Helen is the most amazing wax person ever. And I'm like, we're supposed to go on this road trip to live out of a van in June. And I was like, so I'm going to need a full body wax except for my head. I was like,
wait, does it not have a shower?
Eyebrows down. What?
Does it not have a shower in the van?
No, girlfriend. It's a
For 2
bed.
weeks?
Wait, I'm sorry.
So-
what?
Okay, all right.
Idea now. You're going to be real stinky. I don't want to see you for a month when you get back.
I text Sam. I love Sam. I text her. I was like, and mind you, Sam is who did Samantha Lee. I think it's samanthalee.co is her website. She did the visuals for our virtual tasting next weekend, weeks following, and they look absolutely amazing. So we both wanted to go work from the road. So this is was an idea. I was like, I can work from wherever. She can work from wherever, because I'll probably work from home until the fall. So I'm going to try and keep going through the US as long as I can. My family lives on the West Coast, and so hopefully I get to stay with them for a little bit. And then my other family, my sister, lives on the East Coast, so I'll probably stay for them for a bit. So so I texted her. I was like, we're going to be really ripe after 2 days in the middle of the desert, right?
With makeup and everything, it's going to be 12 hours.
Oh, and I'm like, well, I'm already thinking about getting fake lashes and spray painted on makeup for the next 2 weeks. Cause I was like, how are we going to take video and content and both not look like two trolls under the bridge? Because we won't have a shower for 2 weeks. We're living out of a van.
Are you guys just going to pull up to those concession stand bathrooms and Mexican shower?
Well, so the plan currently is, I think I'm going to look at gym memberships that are open all through Utah. And
are there any?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say.
So I don't know. So that's the first question. So if there's gym memberships, I'm going to get a gym membership through a 24-hour fitness or something like that. And then we're just going to be able to go in and shower. If that's not an option, then every few days I found a lot of Airbnbs are doing tiny houses through Utah. So we'll just stay for $50 a night at a tiny house. And then, we'll shower there. I don't know. I actually found a bag on this is going to be so
sorry, are you going to shower in a bag?
No, so it's a bag that you put on top of the car, and it has a shower head, and then it has the water in the bag, and then you shower. I don't think we understand the gravity.
So it's a time shower because you can only shower for as long as there's water in the bag. Because what happened? If you've got shampoo in your hair or conditioner would be worse. And the water. What do you do then?
Yeah, I don't think we understand the gravity of this situation, but I think that's the fun of it, though. I think that's just
dry shampoo, and then also just bring some wet wipes. Just wet wipe it up. Just be all right. Just do that. Right. Exactly. Just
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
Oh no.
Since you go to a wax person for your body hair, are we going to be able to braid your armpit hair when you get back?
No, because if you go to get that waxed, first of all,
You're saying that you're not even going to shower. I don't know what the situation's going to be.
I got to tell you, I've backpacked through places before where I only had hostel showers, and I was sharing with 20 other people. So if there's a will, there's a way. And I will say, you put some water on that razor. I'm going to give you a little detail that probably nobody really needs to know, but like,
bring it on.
We're here. You have you literally have a captive audience, Elena.
And
so we're not
the
leaving
three
our
of us.
house.
Just
the three of
know
us.
this. I can't edit whatever you're about to say.
So no. I know, I'm well aware. I honestly have the underarm hair situation since high school has been rampant. Like I've had to shave twice a day since I was in high school. So with that said, I decided a few years ago, fuck this. I'm going to start waxing. Like that is obscene amount of time to spend on underarm hair. I even have gotten laser hair treatment. We'll get into that for a different episode. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So
You're still
you're
having
just
issues.
really hairy.
What's crazy is it's only I have literally no arm hair. Like no arm hair. It doesn't make any sense.
I have a lot, but you can't see it because I'm albino.
It's like it doesn't make any sense at all.
I was gonna throw up my forearm, even though it's covered. But there's nothing there, you guys. Just whatever.
just a sleeve.
So if you guys, I almost just broke another glass. It's okay.
Are you kidding me? You broke another glass? This is like 4 glasses in 1 week.
I said almost, and I blame the first ones on Pyrex because they make shitty product. Okay.
Yeah.
So
this is not sponsored by Pyrex, okay? So,
no, not even a little.
Not even a little.
I dinked a Pyrex dish against the wall and it just poof into a million pieces. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? It's fine.
I hope Matt from STL Barkeep better barkeep all of this. This is going to be great. I can't wait for this tasting, you guys.
I know.
It's going to be insane.
It's going to be fun.
Hashtag.
And you get all
ready.
kinds of just like fun things are planned. It's going to be great.
I mean, we're trying. We got to plan stuff. I mean, like I said, I was like, thank God for people who have again, like I said earlier about my headshot. Thank God for like people who created portrait mode, Photoshop, all the fun things, filters. Like everybody's like, you don't need a filter. I'm like, after being in quarantine, yes, I do.
I was like,
it's like 8 filters, like one on top of the other.
Right. No, like literally my boyfriend's so nice. Like he'll go, oh babe, like you look great. And I'm like, rose-colored glasses. I was like, I have my roots coming out. I'm like, I'm surprised anybody finds me attractive right now.
It's like zits on my chin. It's like,
yeah. Mm-hmm. I gotcha. I hope everybody can relate to this. Which
like,
I know they
can relate to this.
Oh, for sure.
And that's all you need.
Yeah, right.
God, it's so funny.
So, explain. I know, Abby, this is usually your words, and explain COVID. In your own words, like your own experience, the good, the bad, the ugly. I know we talked about it in the podcast that will be released in about 2 weeks, but like, tell us about what's going on with your life.
Abby or me?
Oh, sorry. You.
Oh, me? Oh, okay, great.
I need to stop drinking, obviously. I'm not giving good direction.
I was literally waiting for Abby, and Abby and you were waiting for me, and I'm just like being polite, and like you guys are being polite.
Sorry.
And then, no, it's all right. Don't even. This is the Zoom culture. So this is the highlight of
wait. There's this comment from YouTube that I just feel like sharing because
Uncle Buck.
I agree.
Hey, Uncle Buck.
Thank you.
I also just text Tyler. I'm sorry, I have to say this real quick. And I said, I just text him, more whiskey, please. And he goes,
I just opened another cocktail.
He goes, you're talking about underarm hair up there. You don't need any more alcohol. That's what he just texted me.
Is he watching?
Yeah.
Wait, is he Uncle Buck?
Probably.
Is he the Uncle Buck account? What's happening?
He's definitely not Uncle Buck because he's cooking dinner right now and can't multitask to that capacity. But
yeah, but he's listening to talk to you about your armpit hair.
Hello from Cleveland, Eric.
Oh, we got a Cleveland guy.
Hey, I'm from Ohio. What's up? There we go. I like this.
I
like when we
support
shout out
it.
where we're from. It's great. Cincinnati, Cleveland.
Any STL listeners or no?
Any St. Louis people out here? But yeah.
I'm just gonna eat my pizza. Molly, you can answer Elena's question.
Sorry.
Oh, great. Oh no, you're fine. I was like, that's right. We were talking about the highs and lows of COVID. No, the highs of it, I guess, is that I found out that I'm a little bit more capable of things than I thought I was. Sometimes when you're back up, yeah, right. Like, I was kind of like, again, like we were kind of talking about this earlier, with you guys, but I was kind of worried about like, what am I going to do with my podcast? Like, how are things? And I wasn't sure if I wanted to start filming it yet. And I think quarantine was like, listen, like do that push. And now I'm so happy that I am, because like filming it is so fun. And I love seeing everything like shared. And I don't know, people feel more connected by seeing you anyway, which is kind of nice too. So not that there's anything wrong with solely audio. I've got that too. But that is one thing. I've been definitely keeping myself more organized, I guess. Like I've been trying to get a lot more done that'll help me for when this all lifts. I'll be a little bit more prepared. The low is sometimes that I miss people. That's a thing. And I'm sure everybody feels this way too. What just happened?
Elena, Whiskey's giving Elena whiskey. She just pulled it from the sky.
I was like, did you just reach up and grab some and then just...
He brought me the most shitty fucking whiskey that we had in the collection at the bar. And he's like,
here, like the 50-cent samples.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. Continue.
Rude. That was rude.
Fucking goddamn rude whiskey fairy.
I mean, that's also a good highlight of quarantine. I mean, there's been a bunch of whiskey fairies that have been just coming and filling my glass. It's been great on the rocks. Neat. I mean, hey, yeah, definitely tonight. I was like, maybe they're in my mind.
Hang on. Elena, open your cup. Should I pour it in? You think it'll work?
Please.
Oh, shut up.
I call Tyler and make him do it. Be like, hey, when I start pouring, you pour.
It's like that song, when I dip, you dip, we dip. I'm sorry. I don't know why I went that direction, but that's where I went with that.
I feel like with us, isn't it always on a song? Like, oh, yeah. Abby, I thought about you because of the How Bizarre. And Abby's like, that's a song. How bizarre. How bizarre. And I was like,
Smash Mouth or something.
Yeah.
Oh, and I was like, I don't know about that. But it was like, every time I look around or something. It's like,
oh,
bizarre. Bizarre. And I was like, that's Abby's song. That's what she was talking about.
I feel like I have better songs than that, but okay.
Yeah, really.
I'll take it.
Fine. I'll take it. We were talking about Casually Bizarre, so.
I'm sorry. We had a surprise for you, Molly, too, and we forgot to do it at the beginning.
Okay. No, I thought we were doing it for rapid fire questions.
Okay. We'll wait. Well, we'll do it now because I just brought it up, so now it's just
all right. I'm ready. These? Yes! Oh my God, the jackets. I should have worn my sparkly dress. Oh, sorry, we're in quarantine. We can't get our clothes on anymore. They've just been off the whole time. So don't worry about it. All right. Yes. Are we dancing?
Not at home because this is the jacket that needs to be seen.
Yes. I was about to say Saturday Night Fever, baby.
The lights.
Staying alive. Well, theme of 2020. Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive in 2020.
We didn't know this was going to be karaoke, a podcast, and a light show. Here we go.
Wait. Since we've got the lights and the jackets and nothing makes sense, should we start the rapid fire questions?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Why
Elena,
not?
you go first. Ask.
Oh, hold on. I have my question. Hold on, my question sheet right here.
I know. Yeah.
Abby, what flavor pizza is that? That you're eating on screen?
I already said what it was. It's Fontina, sausage, and onion, and garlic.
So Eric had a question that just came in. Everybody, what is your standard footwear in isolation?
Who wears shoes when they're in the house?
In all fairness, because I
Fair.
go to the neighbor's house so often, because my neighbors are my best friends, I actually wear slippers as well with the hard soles.
I wear moccasins, but then I would just wear bare feet or socks in my house. You know.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Abby, do you wear anything? I guess you just wear what you wear around the house and then to walk the dog.
It's literally whatever this is how great I am. Whatever is closest to the door when I have to walk the dog is what I wear.
Casually figuring out the footwear as you go on through the day.
Here we go. Furry moccasins?
Furry moccasins.
I like it.
Yeah, I've got those too. Yeah.
Wait, you guys, Uncle Buck had something really great to say, so we're just going to highlight him for a second.
He's got two little girls. I
love that. Girl dad. That's awesome.
So bring us your strength and wear better shoes.
Right. Wear a hard sole, okay?
Everyone needs a hard sole once in a while.
Right? Wait, Elena, can you get those lights to come over this way?
I don't know if I can.
No, you literally can't, but okay.
Abby, they going over to you?
No.
I actually, I won't get the full description of what happened on Saturday, but these lights were involved. And I just watched like an EDM show. I was supposed to be in Vegas for a festival. And I just watched the festival
Clearly
live.
that didn't happen.
No. And I just watched the festival live and I just, watched the light show.
Wait, I have another rapid fire question since we're supposed to be doing this quickly and not just chatting. Mollie, who is your biggest man crush? Go.
Oh my God. I've got a few of those. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
You tell.
I know. I've just like, there was like a revolving door of men just like went through my head right now.
I love revolving doors of men. What you got?
So, I think the one that I think like Christian Bale, maybe. I don't know why. Yeah, he was the first one.
Batman fantasy, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what it is. Like I've always just thought he was a good actor too. I like him in his movies and stuff. But yeah, definitely the Batman stuff for sure. I'm like, ooh, that's kind of cool. So that would be my choice. Yeah. I
support that. Elena, your turn. Go.
I think I said Javier Bardem last time. So really anything with a Spanish accent.
Anything.
Okay. Anything. Just anything with the Spanish. Really anything with an accent.
Anything. At me.
Let's say Australian, South African, English. Honestly,
Uncle
anything
Buck out
with
here killing it. Ryan Reynolds.
Oh,
yes.
Disagree. No. I was actually quoting the Notebook earlier.
Oh, wow. Best night as a comic and what's your least? Oh, my goodness. I think that was actually one of the rapid fire questions that was on the sheet. Do you want me to answer that? And then
bring it on.
Let's do it.
All right. So Uncle Buck, let me see here. My best night as a comic, there's been a lot of great nights, obviously, because I've only been doing comedy for 3 years, but there's so many great nights of doing stuff. But one of my favorite nights was I got to give back one night for a charity. And so my birthday weekend last year, there is a guy named Nick Branson, and he was like, hey, it's my birthday weekend too. And because it's that, I want to do something good for my birthday. And he had me and another great comic in St. Louis named Kenny Kynes and John Benegoni, who's now in New York City. And it was just so great to give back to this charity and still do what I love at the same time. I know that sounds like such a scripted answer, but I've done so many great things. That was another night. If you're talking about just another show, hosting for Erica Rhodes at Helium was a really great experience. I was sick the first night, but I got through it. And even though it was hard, I got through it. And Erica and another comic, Bobby J. Cox, they were really helpful, but it was great. That was my first headliner I have opened for. So that was really cool. My least favorite night.
Yes, please.
You definitely have nights where you're like, oh my God, what the hell just happened? And this will actually be kind of funny. It wasn't that it was horrible, but the first time I ever did the helium competition. Oh no, it wasn't the first time. It was the second time I did the helium competition for comedy. It was the first round, and Tina Deball, who's a comedian here, she was hosting the evening because she won the year before. And she's like, Mollie Amburgey. And I like go on stage, I shake her hand, everything's good. And out of nowhere, I just slip and fall on stage in front of 100 people. And I had to just yeah, and they're filming it. Like I paid to like get it filmed so I could have like a professional set. And of course I'm like, and you can hear the whole audience just be like, so I just got up at it and I was just like, hey, I was a theater major. Shit happens. It's fine.
That was actually part of the skit. So you're welcome.
So, well, that's the thing. People were like, oh, was that part of the bit? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. But it was great because there's a comedian here named Duke, and you can't hear it until you like put your headphones in. But it was so funny because you just hear him go, yo, she got back up. Yeah.
As you should.
But it was so humiliating. But then I like got back, and then the audience was so supportive. So even though it wasn't like my least, I haven't ever had like a night where I was like, I hate my life because, LOL, but yeah. Positive, from a negative to a positive. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I support it. We've got another audience member question.
What is your most weird place? Have you guys done any weird shows, Elena or Abby?
Define show.
Right, define show.
I've been to a weird place in Amsterdam that I don't know if I should get into on this podcast or on this.
You could change the colors of your lights, and then you can get into it.
Yes, absolutely.
No, red lights, right?
Oh, yes, yeah. The red. Yeah. Oh, these jokes, man. I was
there. We go.
The red light district. I didn't do a show there, but I have been.
They said not removing clothes. That's fair enough.
That's fair.
And then no, because we only do a podcast. We don't do. Well, I guess maybe one of our tastings coming up.
I've been to some famous comedy like places in New York, and they could be really dingy. I mean, I'm not a comedian by any means, so I've never performed in them, but they can be really interesting. So like the concept of X amount of drinks, I will say that the concept of like 2 drinks and a ticket, I actually really appreciate. And I thought that was a New York thing until I came to St. Louis, and I was like, they do that here. But
comedy clubs everywhere. Yep.
No, but I actually really, really like that. And I've seen, there's some really shithole comedy places in New York City that major comedians have come out of, and it's fun. St. Louis is just a really different market. I think it's like, I don't know, it's tough because you only have a handful of places, but
yeah, and like it's a little bit easier to do, at least for me, like as a theater artist. I've done like independent shows and stuff like that. Like I used to, I'll say like maybe not weird, but the most unique place when I directed my very first play I ever did. I did it in the Betty Grable suite at the Moonrise Hotel here. So I had, it was like
that hotel.
Yeah, it's a great hotel. What you did was the play had 2 people, and I was like, I wanted people to kind of walk into the experience like they were a part of it. So you would take the elevator up to the room. I had a friend, like an usher, that would open up the door. And then I preset my actress, who's a really good friend of mine, Kara. We have like the Kara Mollie effect. It works every time. But I had her in the bed just like reading like she was in her room. And then Brian would be outside because he was going to be making his grand entrance. But yeah, people like hung up their jackets, grabbed wine and cheese. And then like, obviously, which is kind of weird about COVID, is like, I don't know if I could ever do something like this again. You don't know. But we had like 20 people all in a suite, and you had people on the couch and like people on the wall. And some of our reviewers were like, this is really weird. So there you go. There's weird. But it's kind of cool at the same time because you're like in it. And at first you're like, oh, we're in a hotel room. But the whole point is you watch the play and then you get into the story that you forget where you are until we're like,
until you're leaving.
Yeah,
you're like,
exactly.
I just watched a whole ass play in a hotel room.
Exactly. I know people were like, are you shooting like a porno or something? And I was like, oh no.
Wait, where are you going for this play?
And I'm like, I'm 24. I mean, which I guess that like doesn't matter if you're 24 now. But I remember being little or young, and I was like, I'm 24, and I wrote a show. Please come upstairs. It's $10. It was a lot of fun. And then we had the after parties. We would go to the roof on top of the hotel.
So
yeah, it was super fun, and yeah, it was a really cool experience. So that's like the only thing in comedy. You just do like weird shows all the time. Like you have like your standard club shows, but I mean, you guys know we've done shows at like barbecue places. We do shows at like cocktail bars. Whatever you want to do, man.
Yeah.
Look, if it's funny, people will come.
Exactly.
So what's this? I've always loved comedy. What's the biggest struggle from like getting into it to, because comedy's tough. So you've got an audience. You don't know any of their, like some people could just be showing up because they're just showing up because they need a date night, or they're just showing up because they saw something. Like you could have such a wide range of personalities, and people just have how they perceive things differently. So like, how do you vet jokes? Like how do you, I don't know, like look into the audience to see like their reaction, and how do you do all that? I love that. I find that completely fascinating.
It's like it's definitely hard because like, at least for me, for the amount of time that I've been doing it, there's so many people who are seasoned, and you're like, how do they do it so well? Like they've been doing something for 20 something years, and and that it shows because they put in the work, they put in the time, and like that's obviously something that I aspire to as well. But it's like being in front of an open mic audience can be very different from being in front of an actual audience, and you feel the energy too, because at an open mic you're like practicing. So like making comedians laugh is very different from making actual people laugh, because your comedian friends know you, so they're like, oh, that's so funny because like it's Mollie and like she's silly. But then if you see like a regular person, they don't know you at all, so it's just like, all right, it's like I feel like it's another animal, like I feel like with like when I'm doing an open mic, I'm like, all right, I'm figuring shit out. I'm a little bit more relaxed about stuff. But then like once you get into a live audience, you're like, whoa, it's just a different. So, using your like the things that you basically, I mean, every comedian knows this, but anything you use from an open mic, keep working at it, keep doing it. And then when you get in front of an audience, I always record my sets, so that way I can kind of see like what hit people well, what didn't. But that's like, it's kind of, I mean, it's a hard thing to put your finger on, because with comedy, your audiences change every night. Like some nights you'll have people just nodding and looking at you, just like, yeah. Or they just don't have any expression, and they're just like, but they loved it. So, but then other people are like very gregarious and just show their affection. So I know it's like a tangent answer, but I hope it helps.
This is a fun question.
Yeah, I love that question. I know, I saw that. So, Mollie,
who's your favorite comedian idol?
Oh my gosh. On the top of my head, I really love Natasha Leggero. I think that she is just hilarious. Yeah. I just like love how she's just so sassy. She'll be like, what? You don't understand what I'm talking about? Or like, she'll just like, she pinpoints stereotypes very well too. And I love her podcast with her husband, Moshe. And they do, it's the Honeymoon podcast. Yeah, you should listen to it. They like interview other couples. They talk about their own like comedic experiences. It's a lot of fun. But what about you guys? I want to know what you guys are thinking.
Well, Elena, you go.
So, this may be like, so I like, well, okay, we'll go back old school. So Carol Burnett and like Lucy, I don't know if Lucille Ball will be considered comedy, but like,
yeah,
I liked the old school.
Like, I love Lucille Ball. Yeah. I've got her quote in my bathroom. I look at it. I'm like, yeah.
Me and my
While
sister
you're taking a poo, that's cute.
Me and my sister like grew up on her. I absolutely love her. I mean, Eric just mentioned Robin Williams and Jim Carrey are classic, comedians. They're hilarious. I think these days, I went to Whitney Cummings. I got like a free ticket to her event. I like her
I've seen her too. She's great.
Yeah, and I had never seen her live, and I got a free ticket to it through work, and I always thought of her as very like brash, very similar to myself. Like I was like, oh, I could really relate to everything that you're saying, and she's very passionate about certain subjects. So she is very passionate about like PETA and animal rights and stuff like that, and I love that she integrates that into her comedy, and that's probably because she's been in the industry long enough to be able to integrate your own personal feelings into comedy. But I also really find interesting, and I don't know if people are going to shame me for this or whatever, but like Aziz Ansari did a comedy special. I don't know if it was his last one or the one before that, but it got really personal, and it talked about like his I don't know, hashtag Me Too, like.
Yeah, I remember
situation.
It's the one that they had him in the backstage and then he came on and whatnot. I know exactly which one you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
That I got to tell you, I've watched a lot of things by Aziz because I like him in everything, almost everything that he does. I really, really like him because he's very authentic and he shows up authentic. And that comedy special, I'm not gonna lie, I was on a plane. I think I was in Cambodia, and I think I was actually crying at the end of it because he was just so raw in that special. I just can't even like dig into when you're accused of something and he talks about it, which I give him so much kudos for, because talking about something so personal, and even on a Netflix special, it doesn't feel like it's I'm doing this for publicity. I'm doing this because I feel like I have a group of people who care about me and I have a fan base and I need to talk about it. And he digs into it, and I absolutely love that special. Like I addictively watched it into the very end. And sometimes I feel like I actually really like Eliza too. I
saw her. Mm-hmm.
I liked Eliza before she got married, and she did these 2 Netflix specials on being married, and I was so turned off on those 2 specials. I was like, but that's the beauty of comedy though, and that's the beauty of art and anything creative. And I just a quick plug, like, oh, Mindy Kaling, Ginger Sim, Mindy Kaling. I actually have read all or 1 or 2 of Mindy's books. Mindy's an amazing writer.
Mm-hmm. She's so good. She's so funny.
I love her book, Why Not Me? At the one that I read. It's good.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's great.
Sorry. Keep going.
Oh, no. So I think that I don't know where I was going with that, but no, I jumped before, what was it, Mindy and Whitney, and I don't know. But Kathleen Madigan. No, Kathleen, I've heard good things about Kathleen Madigan too.
I love her. I wish I could have seen her perform live. I always had to work, but oh my God, she is like, that's another idol of mine too. I feel like she's gonna be me, like when I'm her age. You know, is that, you know what I mean? Or I'm gonna be her when I'm her age. Like she's got her leather jacket on and she's like, what the hell? It's just
I feel like that's me now.
Yeah,
right. That's
just a few years younger. Yeah, that's well, that's like, I feel like that's what I was talking about. The Eliza, like that's a weird part about comedy though, because sometimes when people tune into you, and this is like about writing, this is about brand marketing, this is about anything, like people tune into you when they feel connected to you. And like when a comedian started talking about children or marriage, I couldn't connect to them. So that's really interesting, like how you pivot in your life experiences and how you may lose an audience because you're in a different place in your life.
Yeah, so your jokes are retaining different audiences.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like, I'm sure that like right now, a lot of my audience, like, or a lot of my jokes, like, and I'm aware of this, like, that's why I kind of get like that basic, like not to be like basic bitch, but like that basic bitch vibe, which like I normally like never thought that I was. And then I started doing comedy, and a lot of people who were quote unquote basic, like were like, oh my God, girl. Like there was a set I was doing one night just at the open mic at the Funny Bone. And we had what I love about the open mic at the Funny Bone is that there's always an audience, which is great. It's like one of the best ones in the city. And was doing a set and I was talking about like eating and how like, you know, when you're like in your or like late teens, like early 20s, you have that metabolism that could go for days, right? Like everything's perfect. And then I hit 29 and I was like, oh,
this is not okay. No,
what?
It's not ideal.
Exactly.
It keeps getting worse. It just keeps getting worse.
That's what I was talking about basically in this bit. And out of nowhere, this girl just yells out, girl, same person, like to a whole audience of people. I about peed in my pants.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution to the show.
That's what I said. I was like, we'll make a hashtag out of this later. And she's like, yeah.
Someone take away her tequila.
I know. I was like,
2-drink minimum.
Right. This is like, what is happening? So she was really nice afterwards, but she was like, you're basic, just like me. And I was like, what? But it's just, I mean, that's my life right now. I'm gaining weight. I'm like,
being basic, go fuck off.
You should have just looked at her and been like, bitch, I'm bougie. What you want?
Right. I drink bubbly at 12 in the afternoon. What do you want to fuck with?
Exactly. But that's my life. Whatever. It's fine.
It's so funny to me. I love it. We had a guest question from Kevin that I want to address.
Oh, hey, Kevin.
What are we drinking, Elena?
So
it's not overwhelmingly impressive, but
well, we first started on the podcast with drinking Chestnut Farms bourbon.
Yeah, it's okay. The only reason I don't like the bourbon maybe inside the bottle, but the bottle is great. Look at this.
Yeah, the
it's
bottle
a
is nice.
Whole ass horse around the bottle, tail and everything.
That's kind of I like that. That's a nice one.
The artistry is amazing, but it's like the
artistry.
What were you drinking afterwards? I made my I don't know if it's Bittermans or whatever it is, but it's like a baby bottle of an old fashioned, and then you just pour like 1 to every 4th of whatever you're pouring into your glass, and so it was just old. I don't know. I figured it out downstairs when I was making it. I was like the meme with the girl with all the math problems in front of her head, and I was like, I don't know what's going on, but no, it was 2 ounces bourbon, and then I don't know, a half a thing of Old Granddad.
Ooh,
bottle and bonded.
Uh-oh.
Total Wine bottle.
Ooh.
I don't know what
Did I make that face accurately?
I know. I
don't know
what the face is for.
Is there something wrong with Total Wines?
So they're like in hot water right now.
There's a little hot water Twitter session.
Wait. Let's everyone try and make this face at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, Mollie's smiling. Elena and I look insane. This is fun.
I literally was like, I can't even keep a straight face. I'm like,
oh my
God. They're supposedly known recently. So Gerald Kraft, which you're probably familiar with, posted a tweet about them lobbying for so a lot of bars, Mission Taco, we'll just use them as an example. They've been pushing for their jugs of tequila mix. So that's not a normal sale of any business right now. So a lot of businesses have been pushing for that. I don't understand liquor license in the state of Missouri to be able to go into extent about this, but either way, that's not an easy thing to obtain. Like, that's not something that I have a liquor license, I own a business, and then tomorrow I'm going to be able to wake up and sell cocktails. I'm going to be able to put them in plastic cups and send them to go, because literally that's like prohibition. Like, that's like very olden days way of handling things, but we are also in very different times. And so when there's a need and a business needs to keep selling, that is how they sell. And so anyway, to jump on that, so Total was kind of thrown into the mix because they do have they do have people that are, I saw Total's PR response for this. It was somebody who comes from public relations, I felt like it was a PR response. They pretty much said, we don't want to hurt anyone's business, especially in the local business market. We think that people should have this extended further out past June. I think in St. Louis, we have it in like mid to beginning June.
I was actually reading an article on that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's saving face. Quite frankly,
smart move on their part, to be honest.
Personally, from a business aspect, this type of business, maybe, I don't know, I would say under 5% hurting them, because people are still going to buy liquor. People are still going to buy wine. People are still going to buy liquor. At the end of the day, people are going to still want to buy cocktails. There are programs like STL Barkeep is doing, cocktails where you can make it home. They're canned cocktails with teas.
We're doing the whiskey tasting with them.
Yeah. And
there's so many options.
Yeah. And I
think his response to what we're saying.
And I think that's the beauty of Total Wine tries to push that bottle.
So they're just making money off the bottle, basically, is what they're saying.
God.
I mean, look, it's a business choice. We don't have to agree with it or disagree with it.
Yeah, I was just like, wait, what's going on? I just didn't know. So I didn't mean to make us go on a tangent.
No.
You're like, wait, what's happening?
We're very big on tangent. We want to support the local bar scene and say, hey, you want to do cocktails to go for however long it takes to survive whatever we're going through, do it. Total Wine is back and forth on it, it seems, from their PR, from what they're fighting. They tend to have a political stance on things because they feel like they have a lot to gain. That's what I've gathered from a personal stance.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's liquor licenses and legal things.
Yeah,
but they have weird market.
They have more buying power than most small businesses do because they're buying in bulk. And with buying in large quantity, whatever sells off their shelves quicker, they're going to put on their shelves. So I think sometimes we get into the weeds with I'll give Intoxicology, which is a shout out to an amazing place to buy a lot of different types of liquor, especially specialty liquor. And they have beautiful glassware and they do cocktail classes, probably not right now, but probably into the fall. And, every place is going to be a little different in how they buy things, and everyone's opinion is going to be buy local. Everyone's opinion is different. But the larger the company is, the more the buying power, which is the cheaper the price. So either you are motivated by price or you motivated by small business. And I think you should shop, however you feel most comfortable is kind of my,
do what you gotta do.
Long and short of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Be who you are.
Yeah.
Okay, so to take a pivot from this political we have found ourselves on because we don't know anything about the whiskey we were drinking earlier. Let me pull up these rapid fire questions again. What do you think? 2 more rapid fire questions?
Yeah, we can do a couple. So tell me, because I love travel. You guys tell me, dream travel destination. Go.
Man, I would love to go to Greece, actually. Well, my cousin lives out there. He got married out there. And unfortunately, I couldn't go to his wedding. But that is just one of my dream destinations. I just think it just is so pristine and beautiful. And obviously, everybody's goes at the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. And I'm like, that too. But all of it. But yeah, I just have some family out there, and I don't know. It's just something I've always liked to see and be around. I don't know. I think it's just a culture I've never experienced before. So I'd like to see it sometime. But yeah. What about you guys?
This is such a hard question. I hate this question. It's I have 2 answers. Does that make sense? So there's one place that I would go back to every year if I could afford it. And then there's one place that I would go just because it's a destiny situation. So the one that I would love to go to is the What is it? It's I can never remember the name of this, but it's the place in Africa where like the giraffes live on the land, so they like come peek in your windows and hang out. It's like super Instagrammy, very trendy. It's like a Ellen.
I think it's Zimbabwe.
I don't know the name of it or where it is, but like giraffes are really like cool, and then like you can go on safaris and see all the other animals and whatever. But like that would be a huge goal. It's like thousands of dollars to go and
that resort is very expensive. It's actually on like Netflix resorts, like on their it's really? Absolutely beautiful. No, it's
okay.
Incredible.
So the flip side of that, I in 2006 was in Switzerland, Lucerne, Switzerland, and I stayed at this mom and pop Airbnb like hotel, like bed and breakfast type thing, and it was like 2 or 3 floors. It was like the cutest little place, and you walk out of the bed and breakfast, or you walk out onto the balcony of your room, and I shit you not, it is Lake Lucerne and the Alps. It is the most gorgeous place on the planet, and because of that and my experiences there, I was there for one day.
What was the city name of it?
It was in Lucerne.
Okay, Lucerne,
Switzerland.
I went to Lugano, Switzerland, and I had kind of the same experience. Yeah, it was just like one day.
Good people.
Just good people. Yeah, that's why everybody's like, it's a nice country. Everybody's just nice and neutral. No one. I don't know. It's a great place.
Yes.
I was I was in Vevey. Although I will tell a weird story that we were at a Middle Eastern bar, and they were asking us where we were from, and we weren't privy to the fact that Americans have to say that they're Canadians in order to be accepted anywhere in the world, especially when Bush is in office. And so Bush or Trump for that matter.
Right.
And it was just like a totally awkward conversation. They're like, "You hate our country." I think it was a group of people. I was in. I feel like the irony in this is so hilarious. I was in Switzerland in Vevey. I was criticized by people from the Middle East. I think it was maybe Iran. It was like 11 years ago, and no, I guess that would have been when Obama was in office. I don't know. I guess Obama was maybe in office, but they did not like Americans. And
math is hard.
They talked. Yeah. No. Well, I know that I wasn't there 16 years ago, which would have been this year because of my age. So I like started doing the math. I was like, no, Bush wasn't in office because this is where we're at here in this. Yep. I will say I can't do a lot of math.
Wait,
but
so Elena,
I can't do any math.
Is this somewhere you would never go back?
Oh no, Switzerland was like the most beautiful place in the world. I want to do a vineyard tour in Switzerland.
Ooh, do they have that? That's kind of cool. So,
where would I never go back? Fuck, I don't.
Honestly, can I this is going to sound so, now this is where my basic side is going to come out. But I've got an answer. Where I will never go back to is the Huzzah River. I will never go back there again. It's like where you take float trips. So
the Huzzah.
The Huzzah. There we go. I made it sound like a freaking magic act. I was like, huzzah. But like the whole thing is, right, put on the magic lights. The problem was for me is that we went on this float trip, and the people on the float trip were really nice. They were all like Jimmy's friends. The only thing was that it was just for me personally, it was raining I think that was also the issue of it. It was raining the whole weekend, and it got in our tent, and it was really watery. So it wasn't the people or the experience itself. I think it was just the weather conditions. And I was I've just gotten to an age where I'm too old for this. When I was in my early 20s, I loved float trips. I organized
You gotta tap out.
But now I'm tapping out. Literally the girl who ran it was wonderful. But I told Jimmy, I was we got to go to like a lake or something with the same people. It's
River.
like a different scenery. Like the people were in it. It just wasn't for me. And I know that maybe people are watching. They're like, well, I love that place. That's totally fine. You know me. I'm like, you do you. But I
saw some freaky shit go down on the Hoozah River between two girls, and I was like, is this what the Merrimack's about? I'm very confused on what's going on right now. This is the Midwest.
Sorry, do you want to elaborate on this, or?
Well, this is funny because me and Abby actually talked about float trips on a podcast that we were on, and I was telling them that when I went to Colombia, we did a float trip, and I was told that we're going on a float trip, and I was like, so I brought my boombox speaker, I brought my phone fully charged with my external battery just to charge it, and a plastic case for that external battery.
Oh, see, that's smart.
I asked for a styrofoam.
I should have done that.
Well, you could tone them out, right? Like, no, I asked for a styrofoam thing with beer, full of beer, and a bottle of rum, and I mixed it with liqueur. And then I didn't know that I had to carry it up a mountain, half of a mountain, to like.
I thought you said you took like a motorcycle.
Well, there was a motorcycle involved that went through some very sketchy pieces of land. Like, I don't like being helmetless on the back of a motorcycle going up a mountain
with a cooler.
With a cooler. Yeah, it was just a lot of things. But we made it. It was an amazing time. There were wrestling, blow up dolls in the in the float. Like, and I was playing all Bad Bunny and Latin music. That was all probably.
See, I like to go on a float trip with you guys for sure. That would be fun.
Yeah.
If you bring
my God, my podcast float trip.
So I have a lake house in Cuba, Missouri. Let's do it in near Stillville. Like done.
That's what I can do. Like as I said, I just need that. It just and that's
the hill thing. And we have plumbing.
That is the other thing. Like going to the bathroom in the dark at night and you had to like feel your way through and I had to take my phone and I'm just like sitting in the dark in this porta potty and I'm like, yeah,
insects.
It's just not for me.
Creepy people.
And then like, well, the best part was there was some kind of party bus that was next to us. And Jimmy's like, let's go check out the party bus. I was like, I don't know if that's like the one party I don't know if I want to join. And I'm pretty social. Like, so for me to say that is saying something. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. That's hilarious.
Oh, but yeah, that's just the one place wouldn't go back to. But I haven't had any like terrible trips, you know, like that's a thing. Again, like wasn't the company. It was just, I think it was just rainy. I was like, no.
Location's not so great.
Location, my patience. I was like, no.
Yeah.
Right.
Mine's Fort Lauderdale. Never going back.
Oh, what happened there?
I don't know.
I'm
just not like
anything specific.
I don't. It was like Miami Vice, but weirder. I don't know if I can articulate it properly. It was just Ace Ventura, maybe.
You came out of an animal's butthole and like birds.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. Okay,
maybe
all
not.
Right,
I'll preface this. I don't think I'm a Florida person.
Fair enough.
I can't wrestle alligators. I don't know. There's just a lot of weird shit that comes out of Florida. And I'm just not okay with it. And then being in Florida, it was the Fort Lauderdale. It was like Miami, but like half. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Just like a no for me.
What's
just
the most annoying thing? Most annoying thing? Like, just if somebody says to you, you're like, shut the fuck up. That's the most annoying thing ever.
Oh man, I got a few of those. I don't know what it is, but I hate when people call me and they're like, hey, or if they're in a conversation, they're like, hey, I have something to tell you, but I'll tell you about it later. And I'm like, I guess like it depends on the situation where I think like if I knew I was going to see them later, but like sometimes you don't know when you're going to see them. So then I'm just like sitting here just waiting for somebody to tell me something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did we lose Elena? What happened?
She's probably going to the bathroom.
Oh, that's cool. I know.
Okay,
It's like,
bye.
okay, bye. But yeah, I'm just like,
she'll probably come
yeah.
back and be like, hey guys, it's fine. I'm here.
I'm here. Do you have something, Abby, that annoys you?
Well, I don't even remember the question. I got distracted by Elena leaving.
She was like, if somebody tells you something, what is annoying to you that like it just like I don't think that mine was the end all be all. Somebody just did that to me recently, and now I'm sitting here wondering like
it's like the petty things, like people who lose their shit over somebody sneezing. Like, calm down. It's not that big of a deal. Or someone says something, group text with your friends. Nope. All of it. Nope. Like someone will say something and then you've got 3 other conversations about what this person said and why it annoys these people. No. If somebody says something who I consider a friend in a group text, no matter how big or however what, I'm either going to roast you for it or I'm going to call you out on it. Be like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, that's not okay. So the part that annoys me is when the friends who like do the tangent conversations.
Hold on. I'm going to get some more four roses. I'll be right back. Okay. I just want to note that I had to, we've been on this call for 2.5 hours before like we did the podcast and anything.
So you went to the bathroom? Because that's what I said you were doing.
30-year-old vagina had to go to the bathroom. Like
okay, your vagina doesn't go to the bathroom. Can we get that correct?
Well, like whatever it is, you cannot hold it in for fucking.
Wait,
I'm
Mollie,
so sorry. I had to leave.
Wait, did you hear what Elena said? She goes, the 30-year-old vagina had to go to the bathroom.
Well, we're talking about like the difference between urethras and vaginas, but
just say this 30-year-old had to go to the bathroom. You don't have to identify body parts.
Well, this human being had to pee, so here we go.
Hey, fine,
she's just coming clean
because you both just did it.
I was like, I thought to myself, I was like, this could end shortly. Maybe I'll go to the bathroom here. And then I was like, no, I cannot wait much longer. This makes me question all my decision making for our camping trip through Utah. I was like, I'm gonna need one of those like Go Girl faux this thing where you gotta like pee into something that's kind of like a penis, but it's like a rubber penis. You're like, oh, okay, well, I'm not peeing. This is, I know this is very uncomfortable.
This is my camping life. I'm like, I love it.
But it's like, let's talk about all the uncomfortable things that have happened while camping. We don't have to talk about all of them because it makes probably a lot of people uncomfortable. But like, there are so many things that after you get done camping, you're like, I wish somebody would have told me that this was not the best way to handle this.
Oh, totally. Oh, yeah. Well, so speaking of how do you say it? The Huzzah?
Huzzah River, yeah.
So this girl comes up to us. We're all like sitting in a circle and she was like, hey, does anybody have any ibuprofen? And I was like, oh, I do. And I thought she was just asking for herself. I honestly did not. Because again, it's like dark and all you have is a fire pit. I didn't see the person was behind her. Oh, here, this is top. Okay, here is something that bothers me, people. Like, this is a problem. I really hate when I'm trying to do something good for somebody and they start getting rude with me. I'm like, please don't do that. Like, just say thank you. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm trying to be helpful. I'm the only one that's helping you right now. Like, beggars can't be choosers. So I go get the ibuprofen and I give her 2 pills. And she's like, excuse me, I'm not pregnant. I need more than this.
I was like, I didn't take a measure on how your liver would handle fucking 40 ibuprofen.
Yeah, I was like, what? And I see some like weird, creepy guy just like suddenly like come out from behind. And I'm like, oh, this genius needs some too. So I'm like, here. And she's like, thanks a lot. And I was like, why am I a good person? Why am I nice? Like,
bye.
I'm like, And everybody was like, who was that? I'm like, I don't even know. Just like,
Snake.
I tried to help. Okay.
Tylenol snake.
But she has my ibuprofen and I'm not happy about it.
This is why sometimes you shouldn't feel guilty for saying no. Like, no.
Right.
You seem
I
like
should just say no.
means no. Wait, here's a good question.
Ooh.
Least favorite bourbons.
That's a hard one. Let me see here.
Well, I had this Heaven Hill that I bought while I was in Kentucky for like $17. Won't do that again. I tried it when I got home and I was like,
I feel like mellow corn is better than that.
Oh, barely. I had mellow corn at a show with Meredith. I think one of Meredith's shows.
Oh, Meredith.
On happy hour at Sophie's, and I was just like, ew, no. It was like, mellow corn.
You didn't have mellow corn. You had Old Crow.
Oh,
yep. Old Crow for me. I can't.
She
I
was
had it
like,
one night.
it's only $2. I'm like, that's why.
Yeah, no, terrible. And terrible. I had, what is the ocean?
Nuts.
There's another one on there that my grandpa used to drink. What is the boat emblem?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
but I had that. The Old Crow is the problem. My sisters Allie and Nikki, we went out together one night and we went to like this hole in the wall bar, which is fine, obviously, because those are always kind of like the coolest little dives. And I was super drunk. It's like 12:30 because this was like, again, when you're in like your like early to mid 20s, and I was like, yeah. And this very nice bartender who put up with us was like, oh, because I was like, what's your cheapest whiskey? Why I said that? Why? I don't know. And she goes, well, I have this Old Crow. And I was like, perfect. It's exactly what I want. And I had it. And I want that $2 back.
I'd have to say, right?
What?
Give me my money back.
Right.
10 high.
Oh.
I never had that.
It was like Burnett's vodka of whiskey and bourbon.
No. Nothing is worse than an expensive
Fireball
cocktail. Well, I actually like Fireball. Sorry.
What?
Yep. Nope, I do.
I'm not a huge fan of it. No. Like I've had it in mixed stuff, but no. It's too sweet for me. I'm like, ooh.
I've thrown
That's my favorite.
Like if it's sticky, I have a if it's sticky, I can't do it.
That's like every fucking bar in St. Charles County is like
it's Fireball and a cigarette.
It's it's literally exactly that. No, I don't know. Oh no, now you said Fireball. Now I don't know. I went down a downward spiral.
Fireball. Yeah, that's
it. Nope. No, he said bourbon. I don't know. I don't even think that Fireball is considered a liqueur.
Yeah. No, it's not. But I can't think of any bourbons that I just genuinely dislike.
I will say, though, we just did a podcast.
Chestnut Farms is not your favorite?
Chestnut Farms, which is actually really funny because B and Abby both tasted and we were both on a call. We weren't just like recording next to each other like we usually are. And I saw her face
kind of like,
saw my face and we were like,
The thing is, though,
what do you really think?
It wasn't awful. Like, I didn't feel the need to spit it out. It didn't offer anything.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I gotcha.
So when it comes to bourbon, it's like high corn content. So it's always going to be sweet. So it's always going to be drinkable.
Right.
Actually, you know what? I think Peerless might be my least favorite.
Actually, that's funny you say that because for $120 price point, I've been to their distillery. I've tasted all the products they had last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I so desperately, because
I love it.
Yes. For so many reasons. And I'm going to tell you my just two off the top of my head. The first one is when I was on the tour, we were with somebody who is very science-based and they loved telling us the science of the whiskey. And so they were very passionate about telling us how it was created, the thought process behind it, how it was like everything. And I felt for him because he was so passionate about it. And then it was a very small rick house that they took us through. And then we got to the end of the rick house, and then we did the tasting, and we had like little chocolates. I think it was like 1 or 2 chocolates, and then 4 or 5 tastings. And so every single one, I was like, it's not easy to find Peerless. And so I was like, okay, this could be the opportunity where I buy something in the distillery while I'm taking the tour or whatever. Yeah. And I wouldn't have the opportunity to buy it otherwise. So I was so excited. I was like, okay, if I'm going to spend $100, it's not a really big deal if it's something that I really love. And I tried every single one. And it's so weird. You're hopeless for a relationship to work out. And yeah, no, he, like Uncle Buck said, he's passionate for a turd. I tried every single one of the Peerless products.
All of them?
And 5 of them. I don't know if they offer more, but at the time,
I don't know. That's what I tried with Dad's drinking bourbon, and just like nothing.
Yeah, and it was such yeah. It was
Our
such
friend
a
Bob.
bite
Bob.
It was such a bite on each one of those that I was like,
so much stench. It's insane.
I couldn't put into it for $100 a bottle. There's so much stuff that I love for $30 or $40 a bottle that is not even mass produced. Like something that is, I wouldn't say rare, but like semi difficult to get in the market. Like you have to maybe it sells out in March and you can get it in, the summer. Like within $50, $60, $70 that I'd rather pay $100 than $120.
Look, let's be real. The Peerless that I've had, my palate, this is just an Abby opinion, my palate, I would rather drink Mellow Corn on the Rocks than anything I've had from Peerless. And Mellow Corn's less than $20 a bottle.
Yeah. Fair enough.
It's tough. It is hard.
Elijah Craig. I love so many different things more than that,
Yeah.
I mean, to each their own. Everybody's like, that's the beauty of drinking, though. Like,
exactly.
Mollie's over here drinking 4 Roses. Like,
I know. I'm like, yeah, just hey. Oh, and I've got the Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale cup there. So I'm really getting fancy here, guys. So we went to oh gosh, I forget this. There was this independent distillery. I say independent just because it's something that I hadn't heard of before. But I believe it was like Town and Country or oh my gosh, it was really cute though. Like we went in and we got some it was like a candy cane rum, and it was just really exactly. Ooh. So I was like, you know what I'm gonna get? I've always wanted some whiskey glasses, and now I can put my bourbon and whiskey and all that fun stuff. So,
what was that place called? It's not Trader Joe's. It's something. It's
I'm texting Jimmy. I'm going to find out what this place is.
I know
Trader Joe's is a grocery store.
It's a liquor store, right? It's
Town Branch?
No, not Town Branch.
Wait, you guys, Bob is making fun of me. Hang on.
Damn.
Over Pierce. Hell yeah. Personal opinion.
I was like, Bob is funny. I like Bob.
So Bob is actually also the director of operations and talent manager at Jazz St. Louis. So we were.
Oh, really?
I'm on the Young Friends board of Jazz St. Louis, and he's funny. He's a 4 Roses guy. So
good. So Bob, we've got a good connection here. No wonder I was like, Bob is funny. I like Bob, and then he likes
Bob
4
is
Roses.
Funny.
Me too.
Bob's very into music.
So it's right. I was a theater major, Bob. So I'm right there with you.
Mm-hmm. Bob is good people. We like Bob.
Friar Tuck's. Maybe it's that.
Right. I texted Jimmy about that distillery. I'm going to find out what that was.
So it's a real distillery, not like a store.
Yeah, like
liquor store.
Mm-hmm. Department liquor store.
Right.
That's like my dream. You know when people talk about walking down the aisle? I'm like, that's like walking down the aisle for me. Like a bunch of bubbly and a bourbon. Yeah. bubbly and bourbon. That's the that's my future.
Yeah,
There's
right.
a reason I
like
can
that.
never. Oh, there's a reason I can never own a liquor store is because I wouldn't have anything left to sell. I would just
Fair.
be gone. I would just drink it all.
So 3, like, can we end the podcast on 3 words that we would use to describe ourselves?
Oh,
Yeah.
Molly?
Again. Molly, go. What did
It's
he say first?
The distillery is called Town and Branch, I think. So look
Town
up
Branch.
it.
Yeah, Bob came up with that.
Oh,
Hey, yo, Bob
Bob,
wins.
thank you. Yeah, Bob for the win. I just was like, oh my God, we got to get this in. 3 words that describe myself. I would say friendly. Outgoing, and yet, of course, casual.
Love it.
There you go. Elena,
go. Oh, me? Okay. So I would say adventurous, spontaneous, and traveler. Abby?
Ooh. Chaotic, stubborn, and I don't know. Can I give 2?
Can I phone a friend?
Do I have a lifeline?
I'm gonna phone a friend. Elena, you're my friend. What's the third one?
Me and Molly, what do we think? Outspoken.
Oh yeah, I was about to say yes, outspoken for sure.
Zero filter. I support it. And
yes,
thanks for coming.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. This was so fun.
Molly, where can our people find you?
Sure. Yeah, you can find the Casually Molly podcast. You can look it up on Facebook or Instagram, Molly with an IE, and then you can always follow me, Mollie Amburgey, on Facebook and Instagram or Twitter as well.
Yay! And then of course, Bourbon and Blondes, you're already following us. So thanks guys and have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye guys.
Bye. Thanks, Molly.
I love you guys. Bye. I miss you.
Miss you.